to talk to the guys about this. I need to understand what's going on. So I go to McDonald's to get some food, and I see two kids around middle school age. Honestly, I don't know how old kids are if you're under 18. Y'all all look the same age if you're a teenager. So I'm trying to get some food, and these two kids are slapboxing each other, just whatever. They're having fun. I don't really care. So I order my food, and I'm waiting for it, and I see one of the workers carrying a bunch of food in her hands and is gonna deliver it to some people waiting outside of the drive-thru. So I see her holding all that, and I'm like, oh, let me go get the door. So I get the door, I hold it open for her, and then I come back inside and I sit down. I'm waiting for my food, I'm on my phone, and I hear the two boys whispering each other and laughing, and they're saying some shit like, oh, women can't open doors for themselves? It's two little boys talking like they listen to Red Pill podcasts. That sounds so embarrassing even to hear them.
Oh, don't get butthurt, big dog. They just called you a simp and they was joking, and now all of a sudden he want to do a whole video about how these two young guys are acting like goons and they sound like they listen to Red Pill podcast. Come on, dog. Get out of your feelings. You caught the bad end of the joke. And now you emotional. First you don't care, now you concerned. Let's continue, man.
Talking like that. And it just shows immaturity, The young lady who I opened the door for, she looked like she was about 70 pounds carrying 30 pounds of food. I don't understand where
30 pounds of food? You know how much 30 pounds of food is?
that's coming.
70 pounds. Come on, family. You're not. These guys are pandering to women, and I'm sure they were in his comments like, I can't believe it. Oh my God, it's the Red Pills part.
But it has to be coming from the guys. You know what I mean?
Oh, it has to be. Okay.
I don't know if they're hearing this in school also with their friends, but it's just plain weird. But that's not even.
Yo, listen, y'all. Y'all gotta stop blaming Red Pill for every single thing that you're not necessarily comfortable with. First of all, I don't see anything wrong. He's saying that they turned it into goons, but they cracked a joke on you. First of all, I think it's healthy to slapbox. That's what we did when we was younger. Secondly, they called you a simp because you opened up the door. And third, I'm not even sure that I can say that they was wrong. I can't say that they was wrong. If that's her job and that's what she wanted to do, respectfully, then let her do her job. Now, if you wanted to be the guy to open up the door, which I don't see anything wrong with you opening up the door either, then you can take a joke. They probably called you unk. They probably talked about your overalls or whatever and so on and so forth. Take your L. Man, listen, when we were younger, if they call it that, if that's toxic, all right, if that's toxic, you don't want to know some of the stuff that we was experiencing over in Detroit. First of all, I grew up in the 80s, raised in the 90s, and so I came up at a time where Dr. Dre and Snoop came into the equation, and the Dog Pound DPGC, Sugar Free, DJ Quick, you know what I'm saying, Drew Down, and that was just on the West Coast. E. Fonzarelli, should I save her? I want to be saved. So we had lost something along the way, right? And I don't think that masculinity is toxic. I think that masculinity is just masculinity. Dudes slapboxing, they don't want to necessarily cater to women. They are learning not to simp out so that they don't become a part of the divorce courts and all of that stuff. And of course, I know that there's going to be some people that are butthurt and all of this stuff. But he felt so butthurt about the fact that they cracked the joke on him, which caused his ears to perk up. Let me give you the real story. Caused his ears to perk up, but he didn't want to bother him, and these dudes is in middle school, high school, or whatever. Caused his ears to perk up, and now he a little bit upset about the fact that they kind of learned the game before he did, and so unfortunately, they're going to move a little bit differently, which may even save their lives or it may save them from being in child support court. I have nothing bad to say about these young guys who he's now calling goons. This reminds me of back in the day when they used to say all black people were a threat because they were black. No, they're not goons. They just young guys that are slapboxing and having a good time. Let's hear the rest of the story, y'all.
Even everything. So while waiting for food, they're still slapboxing each other, whatever, inside the lobby. And then this Spanish girl walks in, I guess is around their age, and immediately they stop. Now you know where I'm going with this, right?
I don't.
They know how immature and shit they look, slapboxing, acting a fool, and then they see a girl walk in. Obviously, they start feeling type of way, and they stop what they're doing, and then they leave.
They probably like the girl.
They know how they should be acting.
Is that what frustrates you? Is that what's bothering you, Come on, chill out, big dog. Don't be butthurt about that. They seen the girl that they like, and they probably want to impress her. That's what young men do.
Just heard them, not even a minute ago, talking some red pill shit about, oh, girls, they should let women do all this and for themselves. And I just held open a door. But obviously, some little girl that they find attractive comes in the room, and they shut up, they start switching up, and then they stop what they're doing because it looks a little embarrassing. What they said was super embarrassing, feeding that to each other, and they're little fucking boys. Is this really what's happening? Is this what happens when kids who shouldn't be on the internet are on the internet and they see what men are talking about?
Maybe we should go to Target and buy them some skirts while we at it.
Because I do not subscribe to that shit. What happened to integrity? What happened to character? What happened to standing on your own business? These boys are out here talking.
Standing on your own business? All right, big dog.
Like they're living lives of these red pill podcasters, when in reality, they're in lower middle class income neighborhoods.
And so are you, obviously.
With mommy's money in their pocket at McDonald's. This is a bad direction.
Yo, listen, man. Y'all got to get these simps off of here. Honest to God. It's not one thing that he said in that video that I actually agree with. I think that this guy is so butthurt, and I think that he was so bothered at the fact that they actually held him accountable for being a sucker. In their eyes, I didn't necessarily see anything wrong with him holding open the door. I hold open doors when it's convenient for me. I don't go out of my way to do so. I do it for the people that I love. And then if somebody else is coming in behind my girl, then cool, we all with it. But he's heard about it, he's bothered by it, and now he's lashing out. And he's mad at the general population and saying, is this the way that we're raising our boys? Now he want to call them broke. He's throwing ad hominem attacks with mommy's money. Well, who else's money is he supposed to go with? Are you assuming that they don't have a father? And so these are the type of men that we need to avoid. These overly extra, bothered, getting on the internet, now making a video about it, doing a story time about the. Now, if he was to say, yo, they was knocking people over and they was overly aggressive and they cussed the chick out and called her a bitch to her face, then we could have had a conversation. They're doing what young boys do. They're hanging around. They like a girl that they see. They're not embarrassed. That's what you do when you see some baddies come in, and it's a baddie apparently that's their age. They made an adjustment. They'll figure it out. These young guys that I just heard him describe sounds like fine young gentlemen that is going to grow up and be the leaders of the world. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Always like to link back in the description back to the person that made the video, because I like to give credit where credit is due, regardless of whether I agree or not. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.